when Reverend Meg Barnhouse is at the spring fling with her children, she knows why she is there. She's supposed to meet with writers to sign books. She's supposed to meet with her church members to sell beer. But what she encounters is an unexpected side quest offered by her children. Let's go ride the rides. She decides to accept. And that is where she finds fun, beauty, and delight. Some of the best parts of our lives can be the quests that are offered when we are on our way to do something else. As I think many of you have learned by now, I've been playing role-playing games since I was in seminary. And in role-playing games, you create an imaginary character, somebody different from yourself. And your friends also create characters. And each one has their own backstory, their own history, and their own special abilities. One person playing the game will be the game master, the person in charge who helps everybody else walk through the story. But all the players are the ones who come together to tell the story. The game master's planned parts ahead of time so she knows the setting and can start to tell others about it. But she offers quests to the group and presents challenges for them to overcome together. And it's the members of the group who play the characters that they have created and enjoy responding to challenges and quests in their own way. Would your character be more likely to rush in and battle the dragon, or hide behind rocks and consult a book of spells to save your companions? Would you run to the next village to get supplies or assistance? In role-playing games, we create the story together as we see if we can combine tools and skills and creativity and luck to reach our goals. A single adventure can last for days or weeks or even months or years as the players get together multiple times, eager to discover what's next. Now, the most popular of these role-playing games is Dungeons & Dragons, or D&D, but there are other versions as well. These games can be online or in person. In fact, a group of minister friends and I have been playing every Monday for over 3 years. When we started our game together at the onset of the COVID pandemic, my players were working to defeat a mysterious infectious plague. They figured out the cure much quicker than the rest of us did. Players in these imagination games are called adventurers because they band together as they take on adventures and quests offered by the world around them. I sometimes laugh that I learned how to play these games in seminary because at first glance, the interests don't seem to go together. In seminary, you learn about serious stuff. You learn about religion and history, meaning-making, and how congregations operate, leadership, how diverse groups build a better world, how they work together to move forward in community. But if you think about it, these are all elements of any grand story about a quest taken on by adventurers. And there are religious quests throughout religious history: Buddha's quest for enlightenment, Ralph Waldo Emerson's quest for truth, the Hebrew people's quest for freedom from slavery, the Christian disciples' quest to spread a message to new communities, the Unitarian Sharps and their quest to save people from the Holocaust, our own congregation's quest to find a new minister. Religion is filled with quests, communities, and individuals journeying to find something new, to make a mark on the world and discover and live out their purpose. And as we've moved through our interim time over the past 3 years, it's been such a privilege to join you on the adventure. Even as my ultimate purpose has been to help you equip yourselves for the next part of your quest. Just as we did at the beginning of my time here, let's talk about the tasks of interim ministry and check in on how our adventure has gone. There are 5 areas that we focus on during an interim period. Each one calls us to examine different parts of our community and evaluate how we're doing. What does each of these areas mean in our context? And how do they equip us to adventure together? The first focus is heritage or history. Heritage asks us to look at who we have been. What gifts and challenges have we received from our spiritual ancestors? If we are going to adventure together, we need to listen to each other's stories and know the history of our group. What challenges have we already defeated? What successes have we found? What has our past taught us about our future and our ability to handle even the most difficult quests? Are there any conflicts, any history that we need to think about or talk about before we head out to that next adventure? When we talk about our heritage, we learn about who we are, which can help us understand who we want to be. In this congregation, heritage begins talking about our birth story. Tree of Life was born as a congregation celebrating access to freedom for all, involvement in the society around us, and speaking out. We are a community that has, for many decades, come together in joy and celebration and music. No matter what happened, this congregation came together. We've changed our name more than once, and we've changed our building, and yet we still responded to the needs of the community around us. We still come together in joy and celebration. We are a community equipped for a journey of change. The second focus of interim ministry is leadership. So you're preparing to head out on your quest. Your team will need to know how to work together. Who will take responsibility for determining whether you go this way or that way? Who is friendly and welcoming, likely to recruit new allies and members of your team? Who has the skill to defeat the unexpected monsters like a budget crisis or a sinkhole, which you'll notice is repaired? Who will help care for members of our team, reach out in times of need, assist people in healing their wounds? Each of these are essential leadership roles for our quest. The leadership focus area asks us to look at our membership needs and our ways of organizing for more effective leadership. When we are in times of transition, preparing to head out on a new quest, it gives us the opportunity to examine the types of leadership our community needs. So some people step back, take a break, or try new roles. Others move forward into positions or even create new ones. We see that here at Tree of Life. Even as some of us take a break and step back or move into different roles, we are seeing people step forward with new ideas, giving a different life and energy to our community. The next area of focus in interim ministry is mission. I know you've heard me talk about this a couple of times. Mission calls us to define and redefine our sense of purpose and direction. The mission is the key to the growth and purpose of our community. If others are going to join you on your journey, they will do it because they want to know where you are going. Are you and a group of adventurers who are out to defeat dragons, rescue towns? What's your purpose? But together we have done that. We've created a mission that will guide us on our journey. It will help us make decisions. Those of you who have been camping or on a trip before know that on any journey we take, we can only bring so much with us. It's impossible to pack everything you might possibly use. Our mission helps us decide what is essential to pack and what we can afford to leave behind. Listen to the mission of our congregation. At Tree of Life UUC, we nurture a community that welcomes diversity, supports the spiritual growth of its members, and acts to create a more just society. Our mission answers the questions. Why are you journeying together? In a role-playing game, you would ask yourself, is your goal to discover new lands, to save lives, to protect each other while you travel? Knowing why you are together and knowing your group or our church's mission allows you to decide what to do next. What direction does our mission tell us to take? I encourage you to continue to embrace your mission. Let it be the beacon calling you forward. Listen to the mission statement one more time. See if you can hear your next quest calling. At Tree of Life UUC, we nurture a community that welcomes diversity, supports the spiritual growth of its members, and acts to create a more just society. Where might this congregation journey next? The fourth area of focus during this time is connections. Connections ask us to look at the relationships our church builds outside of itself. How connected are we to other congregations in our community? How connected are we to the region, to the UUA, the Unitarian Universalist Association? Virginia always reminds me not to use acronyms. Take heart, adventurers. This means that you are not the only travelers on the road. There are others out there. You are not alone. Are the others you encounter friends or foes? Can you work on quests together? Tree of Life, in my time with you, I have discovered that you are excellent at finding allies on the road. We have invited Prairie Circle to join us on our next quest. Together, we are looking to share a minister. And last Sunday, despite the rain and cold, several people spent time on Woodstock Square. I watched some of you talking with joy to others about our community. And others of you, and feel free to raise your hand, returned just yesterday from South Dakota. Are you too tired to raise your hands? Well, there we are. Welcome home. I would understand if you were too tired. Where you all built connections of support and love, and I hope you bring that back to share with our congregation. We have members connected to other Chicago congregations and to the larger Unitarian Universalist Association. We have the support of regional staff in the Transitions Office. We are connected to Faith Bridge and other churches and organizations through Compassion for Campers and other programs in the area. We are part of building a grocery store. We are far from alone on the road, and that is because of your determination to reach out and to build those connections. Some of you, as we mentioned, will be attending General Assembly this next week, which is another great way to build connections and resources. As we prepare to embark on our next quest, remembering we are not alone is a source of strength. And the final focus of the interim period is the future. This traditionally includes getting ready to hire a new minister in a time when the Unitarian Universalist Association is facing a significant shortage of parish ministers. We're having trouble finding someone who fits the needs of our congregation. but we will keep searching for someone who recognizes the talents and skills present here at Tree of Life in all of you. Someone who complements the strengths that we carry as a community and who wants to join us on the path. You know who is responsible for what. You are prepared to recruit new friends on the road. You are ready for the unexpected and will face it with courage and strength handed to you by those who have gone before and those who are here now. You are adventurers ready to continue on the journey. In our time together, we have faced a worldwide pandemic, and we have adapted to the needs of this new world. The skills we have developed in becoming a hybrid congregation have allowed us to expand our membership to those who don't even live in our state. They've allowed us to support those who need to attend church services from home for whatever reason. Hi, folks. We are glad you are here. We've learned new skills, new ways to reach out, new ways to connect and to respond. We've developed new ways of leading and finding our way forward. And during this time, we have cultivated new gifts and accomplishments that we will offer our spiritual descendants, those who will take up the quest offered to this congregation even when we move on. We are close to the end of our interim period, just weeks away now, and together we have accomplished so much, particularly in those 5 areas of heritage, leadership, mission, connection, and future. I know that you are well equipped to venture into the unknown. And for the last time, my beloved spiritual companions, I've grown to love you in our time together. I've learned so much from you about digging in to figure things out together, about sticking to our values, about trying something new. I've seen you step into new things and have worked with an incredible and creative staff. I've been blessed by the board of this congregation who've collaborated with such love for this community, for each other, and for all of you. In a time of incredible turmoil, we have grown. We are seeking and reconnecting to joy and delight. We have found times to rest and times to journey forward. I will be with you for a few more days before I start my planned time off vacation, which is mostly packing, on June 30th. And I will be your minister until the end of the day at the end of July. But I will never stop caring for you. I will never stop being grateful for the time that we've had together. As our paths part, I want to remind you that on your quest, you can take time to rest. You can connect with others, restock your supplies, make new plans. Know that you can take time for renewal and to check in with your mission and with each other and with yourselves. Check in on your heritage. Will you see the gifts that it has to offer? Check on your leadership. Is it time for someone to move into a new role for that new quest, or to provide your current leaders with new support? Check in on your connections. Are your relationships with your allies still strong? And do you want to cultivate more? When you're ready, you can move on again to the next adventure. Blessed be my friends. Amen.